Live from the Mirrorball studio in Royal Berkshire, this is Chris Reardon.
And a very good evening once again, and welcome to Monday mornings here at Reach on Air. It's the midnight phone-in. My name's Chris Reardon, and you can call in about anything at all that you want in the next hour here at Reach on Air. We're also on TikTok as well, so anyone who's watching us on TikTok this evening, a very good evening to you as well. You too can call in, not on the TikTok app, but there'll be a phone number coming up in a moment or two. All right. Thanks very much to young Mark for the last love hour here at Reach on Air. And by the way, this is the last phone-in show that we're doing. It was just a little bit of an experiment, really, to see how it goes over the last 3 weeks. This is the fourth one. And I can't do it next week because this time next week I'll be at Euro Disney with my niece and her wonderful family. So really looking forward to doing all of that. I like the whole train ride and everything else as well. You know, we go on that Eurostar thing and you can get tea and coffee and all that business on there. Good evening to Mary Jane. You can call in at any time if you want to. The phone-in number is 020 8144 3477. You didn't write that down, did you? Never mind, don't worry. I'll keep giving out that phone number, okay? 020 8144 3477. I'll be reading out your messages on TikTok as well as, of course, on the Reach on Air app. And Jason's with us this morning. Good morning, Jason. Because it is morning now. It's not night anymore. It's not Sunday night. It's Monday morning. Often people say, oh, what do you mean Sunday night? Well, I mean Monday morning, really. Sunday night into Monday morning, okay? Good evening to the delightful Mark Bowles, who's with us with his little ears pressed against a speaker somewhere where it's so close. We've just got a little speaker in between us, Mark. How wonderful. Evening, Mark. Hello to the lovely Dan C. Good evening to you, Dan. Welcome there. Hello, Dan. I note that you're on Reach on Air Tuesday at 10 o'clock. I have to tell you, sadly, this is devastating news. I won't be able to do my radio show on Tuesday morning this week because I've got a dentist appointment. How many people hate the dentist? Thank you very much. Why do we hate the dentist? We don't really get hurt in there, do we? It's that great big blooming needle that comes through, doesn't it? That needle that comes towards your mouth. I always think it's going to go out the other end of your face. Terrifies me to death, that big needle that goes in, shoving in some sort of, I don't know what it is. Evening to John Springate. Good evening, John. Welcome to the show. You and me, John, far too old to be on TikTok, but here we are. So good evening to Mark. Good morning to Mark. Dan C there. I won't be there on Tuesday morning because of that, because I've got a dentist. It's only a checkup. And plus, my dentist has changed. I'm really disappointed. I had this bloke called Mo, the dentist. He was from Lithuania, and he's been there for years. And I rang up to make my appointment, and I said, oh, I'm afraid Mo's left. I said, what? What do you mean Mo's left? Please don't leave Mo. He's gone. So I've got another lady now called Annika Patel, apparently. So I'm going to see her for the first time on Tuesday morning. I do hope she deals with my mouth as well as other people. Fantastic, Newt. Let's have a look there. What's gone wrong there? I've been illegal activities and regulated. Oh, well, that's good, isn't it? We've gone off live for some reason for illegal activities and banned something rather. Well, I don't get that at all. You can go live as a host from October the 4th at 12:05. Well, that's great, isn't it? What did I do that was illegal then? What on earth did I do that was illegal to get me off TikTok? I don't get it. Do you get that or not? Well, that doesn't make sense at all. I don't get that. But not to worry. It's a radio show more than anything else. So we're back just on the radio now. And Vera's there from Vera's Choice in the Morning. A very good morning to you as well there, Vera. I can't believe that was suspended. Suddenly I got this little note. Go on, laugh. Laugh. I dare you to laugh. Can't believe it. I was just literally, this note come up. I'm just trying to work out what I did. See, this is the trouble with the tech companies, right? They make up these, they all do it. They all do it. Facebook, YouTube, and suddenly you're suspended for a week and you don't even know what you're doing. I mean, please refer to our rules and regulations. Well, I'm struggling to think of this one. I don't know what I've done to upset someone there, but there you go. But it doesn't matter because more importantly, we're still with you here at Reach on Air. All right, so a very good morning to you. The phone-in number about anything at all to call in is 020 8144 3477. I'll keep giving that out, okay? Don't worry if you miss it. 020 8144 3477 if you want to give me a call this morning. Anything and everything. I've got a few suggestions for you. And feel free to call in at any point, okay? At any point. Mark says you need to go live on YouTube now. We need to see your face. I'm afraid no. That was the whole point of doing this particular show is not on YouTube. It was just a radio thing, see? There we go. So thank you, Mark. I look very much forward to that last comment that you sent me. I really do, my love. I really do. Thank you, Mark. I'm glad you're listening on the radio. There we are. So things to call in about today. What cars have you had? Good or bad? Have you had anything that's been a real lemon? You know, you got it from the garage and it's done nothing but revisit the garage that you went to. Remember, call in at any point at all. Don't wait for me to sort of read stuff out. Anything you want at all. 020 8144 3477. I've had a few cars, a few good ones, mainly good ones to be honest. There was one particular one that was just dreadful. And maybe I'll come back to that if we get no calls, all right? I've just got these things here and I can talk about all these here. Don't worry if you don't want to call in. I can fill the hour, several. I can fill several hours, no problem at all. But we are a phone-in programme, so that's what I'd like this evening, okay? 020 8144 3477 is my local London number. Incidentally, if you're going to call in, you need to send your number. Don't call in from a withheld or a blocked number because you won't get answered, all right? 020 8144 3477. What did you like or indeed dislike at school? Was there anything there at all? I bet you've got some stories there, haven't you? Were you one of those teacher's pets people? Miss, I got you this present today, miss. Or were you one of the naughty persons that was sort of kicking someone else's legs underneath the desk? You know, at the back of the school. I bet Mark Bowles was one of those people, weren't you? What were you doing under the desk at the back of the class, Mark Bowles? I dread to think, actually. Maybe there was stuff you did like at school. Did you like perhaps you liked the maths? Are there people that liked maths at schools? I think maths was a complete and utter waste of time, a lot of it. All this algebra. Come on, hands up. Who's ever used algebra since being at school? Anyone? Have you? Has anyone here ever used algebra or trigonometry or something strange like that? Anyone? You haven't, have you? What an utter waste of time. It's like that chemistry table. What's that thing? That table thing that you had to learn at chemistry with all these different chemicals or whatever they were. C2 and I don't know what it was. This big table. We were supposed to learn it off by heart. The trouble is, if you've got no interest in half of this stuff, it's really difficult to learn from it. Do you know what I mean? If the teacher is boring, as indeed was our history teacher, Miss Dwayne, she was vile. Horrible woman. I mean, I sit here pleased, knowing that at least she's much older than I am now. How old would she be now? Blimey, about 80, 85? She was blooming horrible, she was. Her idea of a lesson was to give you a book and read chapter 5, and then you go home. You're supposed to read chapter 5. And I hated homework. Absolutely hated it. My mum used to do all my homework. That's the absolute truth. That is, my mother used to do all my homework, and then I would complain to her that I had to write it out, copy it from her into the book, so it was my handwriting. I used to complain about that to my mum, who just took on all my homework. Oh, gosh. I'm such an ungrateful child. I really was. Do you know, it comes back to hit you in the face, doesn't it, once your parents are gone? It really does, believe me. Appreciate them while you're there. That's what I say. Mr. Lapp's idea of reading a chapter of this boring history book, and then the next day we'd be in the class and she'd ask questions about that chapter in the book, and that was the basis of her history lessons. She was rubbish at the job. Absolute rubbish. What did you like or dislike at school? 020 8144 3477. Good morning to DJ Di. Hello to you, DJ Di, who says, good morning. Tuned in, loving these shows. Thank you, Di. Have a great time at Disney. It's a small world. It's closed, incidentally. That particular ride is closed. I'm just destitute. Is that the right word? Or demented, one of the two. Demented will do. I'm just demented. The fact that It's a Small World is closed for refurbishment. I mean, what do they do? What do they mean refurbishment? Because they close it. Probably someone comes around, one of those feather dusters that Ken Dodd's got, you know, that one, the tickle duster. Someone's going around there at this very moment as we sit here speaking tonight to each other. Well, me to you at the moment. And he's dusting it, and then they'll reopen and say it's been refurbished. So disappointed, but it won't stop me walking around that park, that Disney park, with the 3 children that I'm with and their mum and dad singing "It's a Small World." La la da 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 da. Yeah, that one. DJ Di says, have a great time at Disney. I posted a picture of my dog lying on his back and Facebook gave me a warning for porn. This is what I mean. You know, I don't think I've ever posted anything that I thought, I'm not sure about that one. And yet they pick it up. It's those algorithms, isn't it? They pick up what they think has been a thing, and it's not. Crazy times. Mark says, I hope you get your TikTok sorted. Our dentist retired and we now have a new one. Oh, well, this one wouldn't have been retired, Mark. He left, and I don't know why he left. He must have been, perhaps he was unhappy about something. And I'm so disappointed because he's been my dentist for years and he's very, very efficient. And he's got like a calming voice and all that. And he's straight in your mouth, poking around with that rusty old nail looking for holes. Then he says, your teeth are really good. See you again in 6 months or whatever. And he's gone, Mo the dentist. I wonder how we can find out where he's gone to. He might have set up his own private clinic, mightn't he? He might have set up his own clinic. Make a little bit more money. I'm NHS. Are you NHS? Eh? Vera says this could be a wild guess about TikTok. It could be the fact you gave out a mobile number. I can't see it somehow, Vera. It's strange. It didn't happen on the radio shows, did it? On the sort of music and chat shows, but never mind, Vera. My phone number, if you want to call in, 020 8144 3477. Natalie is there. Hello, Natalie. All right, my love. She's in Welsh Wales. And she said, I liked art and design, cookery, woodworking, and I hated PE. Oh, my God, I hated PE, Natalie. Now, what was your most thing that you hated most about PE? Was it by any chance that horse thing that we all had to jump over? How much did we hate that? There he'd be, you know, the PE instructor. There he was, the PE instructor, telling us all to jump over this blooming great high thing. I hated it. I hated all PE. And it started the moment I as you're standing outside of the PE place and some of the other boys were in there, and the indication that you were about to be punished in there was the sound of the plimsolls squeaking across that shiny wooden floor. As soon as I heard that noise, I thought, oh God, here we go again. Funnily enough, I hated swimming as well. I swim every day now, near enough. I've been this afternoon, actually. I did a little gym and swimming session this afternoon. And I love it now. It's my favourite form of exercise and has been now for about 25 or so years. 32, 42, 52, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, about 25 years I've been swimming now. Almost every day, except for a couple of years when I had something wrong with me. And I didn't realise what it was till it was diagnosed. But we got on top of that, and that's all right now, you know. I love swimming, but in school I hated it. Absolutely hated it. Oh, and if you hate something like swimming, you know, as you go in that changing room, there's that smell of the chlorine. It just terrified me. The smell of the chlorine in the swimming pool. Now, I love the smell. In fact, let me have a little sniff now. I have had a shower. Just a minute. I have had a shower. Yes, I can smell a little bit of chlorine on me. Do you like the smell of chlorine, Vera, from Vera's Choice in the Morning?
Yeah, I don't mind it.
Greetings, Vera.
At all.
All right?
Yes. I just wanted to talk to you about sports, really, school sports.
School sports. Can you still get in your little school sports kit? Have you got the leotard? Have you got the leotard?
No, we didn't do leotard in those days. I don't think they were invented for us in the 60s and 70s.
Was it a leopard skin leotard at all? Was it something like
that? No, we didn't have leotard. We had shorts and vests.
Shorts and vests? You sound like a boy to me, dear.
We all had shorts and vests. All boys and girls had shorts and vests.
Okay.
And we had to change with the lids up of our desk and hide behind it.
Right.
As you know, the boys and girls used to change in the classroom. We didn't have changing rooms back then.
No changing rooms?
No, not in junior school. We didn't. No.
Oh, I can't. Oh, I'm just trying to think back to primary school. We must have had some sort of exercise then, mustn't we? At primary school? No. I don't remember it in primary school at all.
We didn't have changing rooms. You know, they didn't have that kind of money for changing room. We just changed in the classroom.
Okay. Did you have your little towel? Hide underneath your little towel, did you?
No, we used to have. We didn't even have showers, so forget about changing room. We didn't have shower room either. So.
Oh right, okay.
But so my most hated sports. I mean, I was a very sporty person, but the one thing I didn't like was cross country.
Oh,
I hated cross country.
Yeah, me too.
Why does it have to be done on a rainy and muddy day? I mean, why?
Yeah,
is there any reason behind that?
Yes, there is a reason behind that, because the football pitches are waterlogged, and therefore you will damage the football pitches. That's why. That's why you couldn't play football in the rain. You know, that's why.
So they chose for us to run across the field and get muddy and messy and dirty, which I opposed to do. But saying that, we all went out to do a cross-country race, and the teachers were lined up along the routes.
Right.
And four of us, one of the girls said that she knew a shortcut.
Mm.
So we thought, okay, we'll follow her. So we all went in a different direction.
Yeah.
Went over walls and fences. And as we were climbing over the wall, one of the teachers happened to be standing there waiting for us. So one by one, I mean, you would have thought the first person that got caught would have alerted us and told us to run in the opposite direction.
No, I wouldn't have that sense at that age.
They were told to keep stump about it, and one by one we went over the wall, and there was the teacher standing there with her arms folded and waiting
taking your names. And what was the punishment for this offence?
We had to go back from the start and do the whole thing again. While everybody was
that's funny,
shower,
that is.
Going back to their classroom in a nice warm area, we had to go around again.
Right.
I wasn't happy about that. And from that day onwards, I thought, you know what, you can keep the cross country, it's not for me.
Well, I mean, we used to do the cross country, and there were some bushes. And several of the boys, including myself, used to dart behind a bush and have a cigarette. God knows how we were managed to run after that, but we did. And the funny thing is, we'd go behind these bushes, have a cigarette, and rejoin the line, and we still weren't at the back. So there must have been some real slow coaches there. I'm just trying to work out. I'm just trying to remember with the running. Did they sort of let us go in sections, or no? I think we all went at the same time. It just depended where
everybody went at the same time.
Yeah, And our route, it was actually a lovely route. It was a lovely route. I went to London Oratory School in Fulham, and we'd get on a coach one afternoon, straight after lunch, and we'd been driven to Barn Elms playing fields, which is very near Barnes. And we go in there, change in the changing rooms, and then usually go. We didn't play football, we played rugby. I was no good at that until the 5th year, and then I suddenly got into it for some reason. But if the pitches were waterlogged, we would go, same as you're saying there, on the cross-country type thing. And we'd leave the changing rooms up. All right, boys, we're going cross-country run today, down to Hammersmith Bridge and back. So we go along this little path, and then we'd literally join the river by the towpath on the river, right? And we'd run all the way along there to Hammersmith Bridge, where there would be another teacher, and then go round him and back the other way. Now, there were quite a few of us, okay? I'm trying to think how many that would be. It would be the whole of the 5th year, or the whole of the 4th, 3rd, 2nd, whatever. So that would be 30, 60, 61, 22, 43, about 350 kids, I think.
Wow.
I'm just guessing. I may have that wrong.
I would have gone AWOL. There's no way I would have done that. I would have gone AWOL, gone into a coffee shop or something.
I'm just trying to think. It can't have been 350. See, we had a house system. There was more Fisher and Campion, right? And it was more north, more south, Fisher north, Fisher south, Campion north, Campion south. And each class had about 30 people in it, I think. Now, whether or not all 6 classes went at the same time, because there was 2 or 3 coaches, I think we did. Anyway, so we did this run, and I'm always a bit worried about breaking rules and stuff like that, you know. And I would be terrified because I just assumed that the teacher at the bottom would remember everyone that ran round him.
Of course they wouldn't remember.
No, they wouldn't, would they? And if they went, if they went round the other way or didn't go, then he would remember. So we forced ourselves to do this blooming run. And as I say, we used to stop. I was 15 years old, and I used to stop for a cigarette behind this bush and then carry on again with no problem at all. So that was our...
But there's no way I would have... I mean, if they let us loose in the central London, there's no way they would have seen me. I would have been on a bus heading in the opposite direction. They wouldn't have known where I was. So I've no way.
But you did the run, did you?
Well, I mean, we went to a place called I Farm. Anyone that's around knows Leighton or Leytonstone. There was a place called I Farm.
Right.
Of course, the school didn't have its own playing field, or we just had a playground. So we used to go to I Farm for athletics and cross country and what have you.
Right.
So that's what we did. I mean, I think they got the gist of things when every time they said cross country, I would be the last person at the back of the queue, purposely. And I was excluded from the team for cross country, and that was the plan. You see,
How did you manage it? Oh, I didn't realise. So you're saying if you were no good at something, then they stopped you doing it? Well, I should have thought of that one then.
Of course.
I could have thought of that one. I mean, why didn't people? When I think about it now, there's so many opt-outs, isn't there? You could pretend that you got a bad ankle or leg or something like that.
Oh no, they can see right through that. No
Can
chance.
they? Yeah.
No.
Oh, right.
There's another thing as well. They were trying to find javelers, javelin throwers.
Javelin. Now that's blooming dangerous, isn't it?
And we all had. She gave us all these javelins. What do they call it? Javels.
Javelins, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. And she stood far back as she should possibly stand, and she said, "Whoever can hit me with this will be in the team." I tell you what, everyone was trying their damn hardest to spear her with it, but no one could throw it far enough. This is what she told us to do. She wanted us to throw it at her, and we didn't know how to throw the damn thing. I mean, how do you hold something that, like a spear? We don't know. And I tried my best to try and throw it at her, and I thought, she went, "No, not good enough. Next." And I was like, "Oh, can I have another go?" She said, "No, that's it. One throw and one throw only."
Did any of you get anywhere near her at all?
Sorry?
Did any of you get anywhere near her at all?
Yes, there was one girl, and the teacher had to move like lightning to get out of the way. And she said, "Yes, you're definitely going to be in the team." And we went, "Yes, you almost got her. Why didn't you?" It was a cruel thing to do, but she suggested it, and she thought, you know what? If you hate me that much, you could try and throw it at me, and I'll see who I can choose for the team. That's the sort of school I went to. Violence.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Violence.
Yeah, wow. Well, I'd be very careful throwing those spears at people. Can I just read a couple of these messages while I've got you on the phone there, my darling? Hello to Dino. Dino, you may remember I met up with him on Thursday. We were looking at a place to do a karaoke in Caterham. Have you ever been to Caterham?
No.
No, a bit posh round there, my dear. Very posh round there. Anyway, so I met him in this restaurant place, and as it turned out, we couldn't match up the dates, so that won't happen, unfortunately.
Oh,
that's a very good friend of mine, Dino. I've known for years. He looks after stars like the girl from Living Joy and you remember Lonnie Gordon?
Yes.
He's brought her across from the States a couple of times, and he does loads of voluntary work and. Does stuff with the council.
Is he an agent?
He's
manager agent?
Yeah, well, I suppose so. I think he'd probably class himself more as their friends than their agent, really. Actually,
that's nice.
Yeah, lovely chap. So I met up with him. So he's with us tonight. Good evening, Dino. By the way, I've just got this message from TikTok. It says the violation reasons personally identifiable information. Your live access was suspended for violating our illegal activities and regulated goods privacy policy. Well, I'm still struggling here. We do not allow content that contains personal data or personally identifiable information, including
might be a mobile number, I think,
including confidential information to public-private entities. See our community. I don't get it. Don't get it.
I think it might be the mobile number that you were handing out.
Yeah, but it's not. It's not. The mobile number isn't texted up there at all for the on the title thing. I don't get that at all. It says is the above
is the all jargon.
It then says is the above information accurate? Yes or no?
Well, if they could speak in English, then you would know what the answer would be.
Contains personal data or personally identifiable information. I don't know what that is. That's really. Dino says use Facebook Live instead. Actually, I could do that now. Now that I'm not using that violation, the community to be. Oh, there we go. Let's just. The community guidelines should be reviewed to allow live content like mine. Yep. And I've seen similar live content on TikTok. There we go. Let's just submit that. Thank you for your feedback. Okay, we can do live on Facebook as well at the same time, I suppose. At Dino's request. Oh, he's very pushy, isn't he? Really, sometimes that boy.
Speaking of karaoke, I tell you what I found on TikTok. Scrolling through karaoke live, see who else is doing a live event for karaoke.
Yeah.
And I came across one TikTok person, and they had the words of the song.
Yes.
Right, and they had the the song playing in the background, and they were pointing to the words.
Say that again. They're doing what?
You've got karaoke songs where the words come up and you follow the words when it's highlighted. Yeah. Well, this was not. It was nothing like that. It was a plain sheet of paper handwritten with the words.
Right.
And someone had a pen, and you could hear the music of the song, and they were pointing to the words as if, to point you to prompt you to sing along with it.
Oh, okay.
And that's what they call karaoke. And I thought,
where was this? When was this, and where?
This is on TikTok. If you type in karaoke, you'll see.
Maybe that's maybe they wanted to do it on TikTok and didn't know how to get the screen onto TikTok, or might be a copyright thing, and that might be the only way they could do it. Of course, karaoke started. It used to be tapes. You'd have tapes and sheets with the words on. Yeah.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, that was the really, really old karaoke. Can I just read these other messages out? People are kind of waiting here, my darling.
Go ahead.
Look, there's Mark Cording and Dino. We're doing Facebook Live as well now, so we thought we'd be on there. So hello, Facebook Live. We're doing a phone-in show tonight. I know you've just joined us. It should have been on TikTok, but we got barred from that now. We'll be barred from this shortly, I'm sure, no problem. Glenda's there. Good evening to Glenda in the USA. Evening to you, Glenda. And Glenda said, good evening, Mr. England. Are you going to keep the Sunday night phone in on Reach? Hope you're well. Well, it was just a little experiment for 4 weeks, actually. This is the 4th week, so this is the last one. After which I'm on holiday anyway next Sunday night, so I can't do it then. But I'm thinking about it, Glenda. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. The problem is with these chat shows, it's all very well. I have no problem chatting away. You know, I do the chat show for years and years and years. I like to do a phone in. The problem is no one phones in. It's really difficult. You have phoned in, as you did last week, didn't you?
Someone else might be waiting in line.
Or the week after. Hello, Danny. There's Danny Alexa, one of our fantastic, proper taxi drivers, not like Uber. He knows where he's going, my love. That Danny.
Oh, lovely.
He knows where he's had famous people in his taxi. Not as famous as me, obviously, but he's had a few. Let's just give it a little bit more light in here because I'm looking rather pasty, to be honest. I look a bit pasty. Hello to Deirdre Nelson. Hello, Deirdre Nelson. In the house this evening. Hello to you, my love. 1 hour is too short, says Dino. Well, I suppose so, yeah. The problem was because the number one priority was to put this on Reach on Air. Because it's like a radio show. The video is secondary on this particular type of show. But the problem is on Reach that there's not many slots. That's why it's at midnight. Okay, I would love to it be 8 o'clock, maybe 9 o'clock at night, even 10, whatever. But there are no evening slots really on Reach on Air. So this was it. You know, it was either do it at 12 or just go on Facebook Live. And I wanted to do it more as a radio show than anything else. Mark says, I think a late night phone in on Reach on Air isn't the one because people are sleeping. Well, you're not, are you? Eh?
Well,
shouldn't you be in bed?
Sleeping.
Who's in bed at the moment? Who's in bed?
Well, I'm in bed, but I'm not sleeping.
Look at this, Danny Alexis. He had Samuel Jackson in his cab a few weeks ago. How's that, eh? Wow. I'm sure that's not the only famous person you've had in there, is it? How many more? Dino? Me?
Well, I tell you what, if I get off the line, maybe he can call in and tell us all about the famous people we've had.
He may well want to do that. I'm going to
say good night to you. And
are you going to say good night?
He will call in.
All right.
Come on, Danny, you need to call in.
I love you loads.
See you later then.
Thank you for Vera from Vera's Choice in the morning. See you, darling.
See you later. Bye.
Bye, love. So he got oh, hang on, I pushed the wrong button there. Yeah, Danny got £20 tip. That's not bad, is it, Danny? I got £2 this weekend, actually, at the karaoke from an American bloke. Yeah, he tipped me £2. I was happy with that. You'd be happy with your 20. I'm happy with my 2. George Bond's in bed. Evening, George. Hello to Omar. Evening to Omar. No, we couldn't get the dates right on the Caterham gig, unfortunately, in Surrey. So that won't be happening. But Dino's got other bits and pieces, I'm sure, at some point. Haven't you, sir? All right. Hello to Pip. Hello to Pip. I used to work with Pip at the Black Cap in Camden Town. One of the best jobs I ever had. We had some fun there in the 90s, didn't we? I mean, I hung on through the 2000s, but it wasn't. It was the 90s. That was my favourite time there, Pip. And then I kind of hung on. I should have probably gone around about 2002, 2003. But you know how it is, hanging on to the money. Ronan Barton, £2 is the price of a Freddo now. Are you serious? Is that what a Freddo chocolate is now? £2? Blimey. Hello to Chris Mannion, who's watching in Laos. 6:30 in the morning there. Morning, Chris. Where is Laos? I don't know where that is. Good evening to the delightful Electric Blue in the house tonight. Good evening to you, darling. All right, my love. Evening to Electric Blue. DJ Di is in bed but wide awake. Thank you, Di. Natalie said, I hated all of PE at school. We had climbing frames and trampolines, but I still hated it. The head teacher was my PE teacher, and he used to tell me off constantly. Was you a naughty person, Natalie? Naughty person, Natalie. You must be punished. I've got a whip here. Hang on a minute. Where's my whip? There you are. You've been suitably... I think you've been a little bit more naughty than that, actually. I'm going to give you another thrashing. There we are. We used to get the cane at school, you know. Oh, dear. Dan C says school was always fun. Not. I hated PE. I had a horrible PE teacher who always said, you must call me sir. Well, we called all the blokes sir. Sir and miss. We didn't have first name terms there. It was sir. It was sir. My school was very strict. The London Oratory in Fulham. We were very strict there. And I had the lash twice. I had the cane twice. They wouldn't give me it to me. I started asking for it. Sir, please, can I have the cane? I weren't impressed by that. There's clubs for that now, you know. People like a good beating. I could see you somewhere like that, Dan C, actually. He said his idea of physical fitness was running around a field for 20 minutes and push-ups. One day when he said, call me sir, I said, oh, so when did Her Majesty knight you? Oh, right, she didn't. Well, that would have... I think that deserves another lashing, actually. Cheek and insubordination. Thank you very much, Dan C. Please, respect your teachers. Hello to Mark J. Hello, Mark. I watched your TikTok at the karaoke. It looks like fun. We'll have to come down and see you and then off to Dunstable to see Bookers. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Bookers. And who else does... it's Johnny F does Bookers, doesn't he? Johnny F does Luton, doesn't he? I think Johnny F does Luton as well. I'm sure he does. Don't mind if you want to steal one of my evening slots in the future. Let me know. Oh, I wouldn't do that. Let me know. Natalie says she hates sports days. Oh, God, sports days. Oh, I can't think of anything worse. Oh, the embarrassment of coming last all the time. It was just awful. Hello to Alan Ross this evening. Evening, Alan. He's on Nova Radio in Newcastle at the moment. He says, I'm enjoying listening to your show. Even I'm doing my show at the moment on Nova Radio North East. But as normal on a Sunday, I pretty much just play music and the odd jingle. So thank you, Alan. Thank you. Thank you, Alan. Oh, God. Isn't it funny? When you were at school, I mean, there were boys at school. It wasn't all boys school. And some of them just loved the sport. Actually, my great-nephew George, he's 10 now. He loves sport. Football, all this stuff. He just loves it. I hated it. And yet, in the 5th year, we were a rugby school, so we didn't do football. In the 5th year, for some reason, we were playing this usual game of rugby among 2 different classes on the field. And suddenly, I don't know how it happened, this bloody rugby ball, I beg your pardon, this blooming rugby ball landed at my feet. I thought, oh my God. Because you know those boys that went round and round the football field or the rugby field because they didn't want to get involved, yeah? There was me and a boy called Paul Bratt. I mean, if you think I'm gay, he was even gayer than me. I don't even know if he is. But me and him, we used to walk around the outside of the pitch so that we wouldn't get involved, right? And then one day, this blooming ball landed right at my foot. Oh, my God, what am I going to do? And, of course, all the other boys are shouting at me now, Reardon! I thought, oh, God. I picked it up and I ran for my life. Now, I was a little bit, not fat, I was a bit big. For some reason, I was a little bit up here. I didn't do much exercise, so I don't know why I was. I was just naturally fit. And I'm not talking about looks here, as in could run. And I grabbed this ball and I ran. And these lads were jumping on top of me and I was just like throwing them off. Like that. And I got there. I scored a try. The teacher looked at me in disbelief. He looked at me in total disbelief. And it was at that point, and we're talking sort of halfway, 3/4 of the way through the 5th year now, right? And suddenly I was interested. But of course it was too late. I was about to finish school for good. Although I did stay on in the sixth form. I didn't do the games in the sixth form. I used to bunk off from games in the sixth form. Me and my mate, we used to go down to Putney Bridge Station, which is where the tube station came into, right? Putney Bridge Station. And there was a cafe opposite. It was very much like the cafe on, not Dragon's Den, the other thing, The Apprentice. It was very, very much like that cafe. And we used to just go over there and drink tea. Because you couldn't go home early. Mum and Dad would know. It's not like now, mate. Not like now. I can't be bothered. I just go home. Oh, I just watch the telly. No, not like that now. Dear me. You're in serious trouble if you got home early and there wasn't an excuse. We just used to sit there and drink tea and go home. But in the fifth year, the year before that, I suddenly became interested in rugby. And then it was too late. How crazy is that? Who knows? I could have been head of the England team or something like that. No, I didn't go around looking for their shorts that they left on the floor. Omar says, I went to Aveling Park School in Walthamstow, hated PE, felt the teachers only focused on the guys who did well. Yeah, I go along with that actually, Omar. It did seem to be if you was good at sport, you'd be right up there with the rest of the school. But fortunately, in my school, our headmaster, first it was Mr. Gaffney. He was harsh. He died some years ago now. He was really harsh. I remember being in many years later, I popped into our school church, which was the Brompton Oratory, opposite Harrods, near enough. And I was a guest. I was 32 at the time, and the present headmaster, Mr. McIntosh. So Mr. Gaffney was there for my first or second year, and that became Mr. McIntosh, right, who took over from him. And I'd asked to go to the school Christmas carol thing that they have every year on the last day of term. And it was just fantastic, really. And next to me was sitting this old lady. Hello, and Mr. McIntosh, he says to me, John said to me, yeah, this is Mr. Gaffney's wife. Is it really? I said, oh, I'm very pleased to meet you. Hello, what's your name? I said, I'm Chris. And tell me, did my husband cane you? And I'm like, yes, he got most of them, at least once. How funny is that? Let's have a look here. Let's say hello to Ronan. Evening to Ronan. Dino Klein says it's now 50p for a curly whirly. No, it ain't. It might have been then, mate. And they were big then, those curly whirlies. Have you seen those little bags you can get? You can get these little bags, Cadbury's, mini curly whirlies. They're all right for a good old chew. Do you like a good old chew, Benjamin Brown? Good evening, Benjamin. Hello to you. Do you like a little bit of a chew on there? I'll bet you do. Congratulations on your new little boy as well, by the way, Benjamin. Beautiful little creature. Pip says we did have fab times in the Black Cat. We certainly did. Wonderful. Hello to Mary Wright. That's another karaoke host there. Some of you will know Mary. I know you will. Lovely lady. I've only met her once. Her and her lovely husband at the Green Man in Essex Road. I think I was in about 6 or 7 years ago now. It must have been Mary. Where's that time gone, eh? Nice little pub that is. Hi to Heidi Young. Evening to you. No, I'm not at the Caravan. I should have been there this week, but October I'm going away a couple of times, so I won't be going up there this month, all right? So Chris is at a place in Laos between Thailand and Vietnam. Thank you, Chris. Have you got a place there, or is it just a holiday, Chris? You know, I just assume you might have another house there or something like that. Angela says, hello, whip me. With great pleasure, Angela. Here it comes, darling. Hey, did you enjoy that, my love? Nice little bit of a whipping for you. Usually I insist, because some people do ask for a whipping, right? But I do like to say you need to do something wrong first. If anyone wants to call in, you can do so. 020 8144 3477 is my phone number. It's a local London number, okay? It's not premium rate at all. 020 8144 3477. George wants to be a DJ. Good evening to Blakey. Can I jump on? Of course you can, Mr. Blakey. Good morning to you, sir. Hello to the lovely Nick. Good evening, Nick. Haribo Nick. Hello to you, sir. Thank you, Pip. You and David Rosen were the best ever DJs. It's very kind of you to say so. Do you know, I can't remember how I used to DJ now because I just do karaoke now. I have done for some years now. I stopped DJing about 5 years ago now. I was at the Two Brewers for a while. I never really clicked in there. I just didn't. I mean, it was there 18 years, I know, but I didn't really like it there. There was something there that and I can't put my finger on it really. I think it was a little bit too pretentious, I think is the word, and the Black Cat was anything but pretentious, as you well know. But I stayed there for Jimmy, and he paid well anyway, so I stayed there as long as I wanted to, and about 18 years. I left there when they decided to make the Thursday 3 a.m. instead of 2 a.m, and I was starting to get on a little bit. I was over 50 at this point. I thought, I don't want to go till 3 a.m. anymore. Not anymore. Now think about it. I used to DJ till 6 in the morning in one place down in Brighton there. Crazy, isn't it, really? And he got to 3 and I said, no, thank you. I'll leave it here. And job went to someone else. But yeah, the 90s were my time, Pip, really on the DJing side of things. Good evening to Craig Mackenzie, I beg your pardon. Craig, hello, Craig. Nigel, evening, Nigel. One of my Central Station colleagues there. I did O-level RE, not to do games. But did you enjoy it, Nigel? O-level RE. I got unclassified for RE. Can you believe that? Here he is, goes to church. Unclassified for RE I got. Actually, talking of church, I went to a Latin mass today. The whole thing was in Latin. The place in Reading called... Hang on a minute, I've got it here, actually. What's this? What was the name of the church? St. Edward's? St. Edmunds? Hang on a minute, I'll find it. 1 minute. Can't find it now. Was it St. Edward's? Hang on, where is it now? Tuesday, Monday, Wednesday, Sunday. It just says Reading on there. It says St. John Fisher Parish, but that's not the name of the church. St. Edmunds of York, something like that. I'm sure it was St. Edmunds or St. Edwards of York, something like that was called. Anyway, and the whole thing was in Latin. Very beautiful, a lot of chanting going on. You know, really, really nice. Omar says, what music did you used to play, Chris? Mainly pop and house. Pop and house. Pop and house, yeah. I enjoyed doing my DJing in them times. Ronan says the big things just keep getting smaller. Well, they say that as you get older, but it hasn't happened to me yet, Ronan. Thanks for pointing that out, though, mate. MC Dryweave brings back Fab Time. She was great. She does an internet radio show, actually. She does one on there. Yeah, Benjamin, anytime. I keep telling you. Still waiting, mate. Still waiting. Ronan, is that what you say to them when they turn up at yours? You have to do something wrong first. Yes, and then you get a good lashing, dear. A good lashing. Dino says, whatever happened to Andy, David Rosen's other half? No idea. No idea. I don't know how much you know about David Rosen, but some years ago he went to Thailand. He met a lady and he brought her across and married her, and now he has a family. It's a complete about turn, really. Often you hear of the straight blokes going gay. Well, this one was the other way round, and he couldn't be happier. Funnily enough, I don't think I mentioned this to you, actually, Dino. I'm going to his daughter's bat mitzvah in a couple of weeks' time on... Because I went to his son's bar mitzvah. Wow, you lot spend some money on that, don't you? Blimey. Wow, all sit-down meal and, you know, no expense spared for bar mitzvahs, my friends, my Jewish friends. Absolutely, they spend... It's not like a First Holy Communion. You're lucky to get jelly and ice cream at those, Dino. Good God, no. You lot know how to throw a party. When is that? It's on the... So I'm going to the religious service first on October 22nd, and the party thing is on the 23rd. And they had a very good DJ there last time, actually. Very good indeed. All right. Thanks for the memories. La da 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 da. 9 minutes to how's it 9 minutes to 1 already? God, you're quite right. It's not long enough, is it? He is a good Jewish boy. Same as yourself, Dino. Same as yourself. Omar says, I love house. Used to party at Egg, Fabric, Fire and Ministry. How old are you, Omar? Did you ever do Turnmills? Now, that's been closed for some years now. I don't know if you ever did Turnmills, but that's where I used to go clubbing, Turnmills. To mainly, first of all, a club called FF, which was on Sunday nights. That became Warriors, okay, which I continued to go to. And then that became Melt, but I didn't like Melt. It was too hard, too early. Whereas FF and Warriors and Trade was on the Saturday, and I started going there again there as well. All those three, they kind of started at a level, say at level 1, and they'd finish at level 10, right? With Melt, you went in and it was already at level 10 and it had nowhere to go. And I didn't really go to that. It was run by, there's nothing wrong with it, you know, it was just my preference. And I think Blue Peter was the DJ there I met a couple of times. Nice bloke. The Fridge as well. Yes, went to the Fridge as well. That was Saturday nights. What was it called? I think it was just called the Fridge, wasn't it? I think it was just called the Fridge, Saturday nights. Phone number, by the way, 020 8144 3477. 020 8144 3477. Omar was 42. Yes, I did once. It was really good, I remember. Yes. And they had a night on Fridays, straight night, called The Gallery, which I went to a couple of times as well. And that was really good. Similar sort of music there. That was a great atmosphere in that place. Turnmills. And a few years ago, they knocked the entire place down. Or did they knock it down or just convert it? And it's offices now. Honestly, those walls could tell some words. Those walls could tell some fantastic words. Not bad words, fantastic words. And I could sit here and tell you the stories. Gosh, but I don't think half of them are acceptable for radio or television, dear. What a wonderful place that was. Can't believe it. Did you go there, Dino? Dino loved DJ Ariel. Yeah, he was a bit good looking, weren't he? Yeah. They did knock it down, did they, Nige? Thank you, Nige. Yeah, they knocked it down. Great sadness. I wish I had a piece of it. People they're actually I think on the internet at some point, people were selling pieces of Turnmills. They were literally selling pieces of Turnmills, like a bit of the floor or a tile from the wall. I wish I had something like that. And same for the black cap. I wish I had a bit of the black cap here. Anything, I don't know, a piece of curtain or something. But I haven't. But I've got my memories of my phone and my photos, of course, like Pip has there. Omar says, I just remember seeing the toilet cubicles. Manic. Oh, the toilets. Weren't they amazing, those toilets? All those different coloured tiles. Wow, beautiful toilets they were. But they used to... See, the trouble is, they used to turn off the cold water because we were all in there drinking bottles of water, right? And we would buy one bottle from the bar and then just keep filling it up at the tap. Well, they cottoned onto this, so they turned off the cold water. And we... But we just drank hot water. It didn't bother us. The other pub in King's Cross was the Golden Lion. Golden Lion, yeah. That was right on a corner. It had loads of glass around the front and all that, I think that's one you mean. Or, do you mean the one opposite the Black Cat round the back? And that was... Oh, gosh. That tip of my tongue, that name. Do you remember, what's that one, Pip? What's that one, Pip? The one in King's Cross. Sorry, the other one in Camden Town. What was it? I know the one you mean. Laurie Arms. The Laurel Tree. The Laurel Tree. It was the Laurel Tree. That's it. Laurel Tree. Good evening to David Hunt. That's with a H. Pay attention now. Did you do a bingo night in Hammersmith somewhere years and years ago? No, not in Hammersmith. I did it in Ealing, King's Cross and Camden. These bingo nights, they were great fun, they were. Vera says you had several free people from the Black Cap. That's your memories. I wish I'd have read that before I read it out. Let's move on. Barcode, great bar in Vauxhall and Soho back in the day. I never liked Soho. I really never liked. I found it very pretentious and very judgmental walking around there, you know. Not that you should let it bother you what other people think about you. You know, I don't need validation. You shouldn't need validation. Like a lot of these young people on the Facebooks and the Instagrams are obsessed with the amount of likes they get or the followers they've got. Don't worry about it. You do not need validation for what you do. Just go and do it. Let me tell you, if I needed validation for this stuff that I do, I wouldn't be doing it because I don't get much. I don't care. Don't care. I'm just happy to sit here and do it. You know, and that's how you should be. Just be happy to do what you do. You do not need validation from anyone. You really don't. Just go and do it. Alan Ross says, me again. I'm another one who absolutely hated PE. Used to dread the days when we went into the gym and all the ropes were pulled out from the wall as I couldn't climb ropes to save my life. Well, you might do. If you had to save your life, you might do, Alan. You know those little rope bridges. If you go to, I don't know, Thailand or somewhere like China, have got them, haven't they? They've got these rope bridges that go across. Sod that, mate. As these things shake as you're going across them, don't they? He said, I always had to call my male teachers sir and females miss. Yeah, same as me. Would probably have been caned if we dared call them anything else. Well, I'll tell you what, as you haven't had a caning before, take one now. Here we go, there we are. All right. Do you like a little bit of a caning, David Hunt? I reckon Benjamin does. He's the sort of person that would like a good slapping, wouldn't you? David said, I cheated on you before I knew you then. There was a gay pub in the back streets of Hammersmith that did bingo. Yeah, that would be... that would be... That's either the Royal Oak or the Penny Farthing, one of those two. Would have been one of those two. All right, thank you, young David. Nice to see you there. Dino was a DJ at the Elephant and Castle for a few years in Vauxhall. Oh, I went there a couple of times. Yeah, loved it. Spit and Sawdust pub. There was a few fights in there, weren't there? I think I went in there twice. And if I'm right in thinking, that's where DJ David Rosen started his DJing career. In the Elephant and Castle. Certainly on the gay scene as we know it, you know. Thank you. David's happy you are here. Well, that's very kind of you, David. I'd be happier if you were here, to be honest, but there we are. Royal Oak. It must have been the Royal Oak when they were doing the bingo. I'm sure Jeremy Joseph would have done something like that. All right, gang. Well, that's it this evening. Thanks ever so much for joining us here at Reach On Air. I'll be back with you tomorrow morning. This morning at Reach On Air at 9 o'clock for an hour of music, chat and fun. Okay, that's Reach On Air this morning. In just a few hours' time, an hour of music, chat and fun with myself. Okay, I think we'll do this phone in again at some point. We'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching and listening. See you soon. Bye-bye now.